You've likely seen them before, those bright strips of tape, right? Red, blue, black.
Yeah, all sorts of colors.
Exactly. On athletes, maybe runners in the park, they look simple, but there's actually some neat engineering behind them.
Definitely. Support, recovery, movement. It's quite clever stuff.
And it's moved way beyond just elite sports now. I mean, you see it everywhere. And you know what? There's this fascinating, really fast-growing global market behind it all.
Which is what we're digging into today.
Right. We're doing a deep dive into the business side of kinesiology tape.
And our plan, really, is to unpack the insights from this report by Cognitive Market Research. It's called Global Kinesiology Tape Market, Growth and Regional Outlook.
Okay.
So we're not just going to, list numbers. We want to explore why it's growing so fast, see who the big players are, where it's really taking off.
Understand the story behind the tape, basically.
Exactly. Think of it like uncovering a quiet revolution in how people are looking after themselves.
Okay, let's get into those numbers then, because they really do paint a picture right away. Honestly, when I first saw them, I had to sort of double check.
Yeah, they're eye-opening.
We're talking a global market pulling in a solid $225 million, roughly, back in 2021.
Which is already pretty substantial.
It is. But here's the kicker for me, the forecast. By 2025, it's expected to hit around $321 million. And then, get this, by 2033, it's projected to nearly triple that 2021 number. We're talking over $650 million.
Yeah, $653.33 million.
To be precise, that's not just steady growth. That feels like a sprint. And it's backed up by this impressive compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of nearly 9.3%.
Exactly. And that CAGR, that steady rise, it's not just a statistic floating in space, right? It reflects something bigger.
What's that?
It shows this growing use across a really wide range of people. You've got the pro athletes, sure, but also rehab professionals, weekend warriors, just regular fitness folks all over the world. It really connects to this bigger picture of, increased global awareness about preventing injuries, recovering faster, maybe even boosting performance a bit.
It's interesting you bring up that range, from pros to, like, everyday people. I've seen it on tennis players, definitely. But also, my neighbor, after maybe too much gardening. Is that kind of broadening appeal what the data shows?
Absolutely. It's totally moved beyond just the Olympic Village or the pro locker room. I mean, think about it. 20 years ago, this kind of targeted muscle support, you probably only got that from a physical therapist.
Right, specialized treatment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you can find tutorials online, buy it easily in stores, it's cheaper. Anyone can grab a roll at the pharmacy and get some immediate benefit.
So it could become much more accessible.
Hugely accessible for those everyday aches or just extra support during a workout, not just for smashing world records. And that accessibility, that's a massive driver for this global boom we're seeing.
Okay, so it's booming everywhere. But geographically speaking, who's kind of leading the pack right now? Who's got the biggest piece of this growing market?
Right now, North America has that top spot. If you look at 2021, their sales revenue was just over $90 million.
Okay, significant chunk.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's projected to keep climbing steadily, hitting around $126 million in 2025, and then pushing up towards almost $250 million by 2033.
Wow.
That's with a very healthy CAGR, too, just under 8.9%. So it's a mature market, but still expanding nicely.
Almost tripling its size in just over a decade.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, even for the leader. Now, within North America, is it mainly one country driving those numbers?
Well, as you might guess, the United States is the dominant force there. Started really strong, nearly $72 million back in 2021.
Right.
And it's on track to pass $100 million in 2025 and then nearly double again to almost $196 million by 2033. The CAGR is pretty consistent, too, around 8.7%. Shows it's really embedded there, a strong consumer base.
So the U.S. is the powerhouse, clearly. Yeah. But are there other parts of North America punching above their weight, maybe showing faster growth, even if the total numbers are smaller?
That's a really good point because it's not just the U.S. Canada makes a significant contribution. They were over $10 million in 2021.
Yeah.
And they're set to grow to about $15 million by 2025, and then more than double to over $31 million by 2033. Their CAGR is actually a bit higher, over 9.5%.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, quite robust. And Mexico's a player, too, projected to climb past $22 million by 2033 with a solid 9% CAGR. So yeah, the U.S. leads, but Canada and Mexico show strong, consistent growth, too. It's definitely a regional trend.
Okay, so North America, established leader, solid growth. But you often hear about these breakout growth stories in global markets.
Yeah.
For Kinesiology Tape, where's the real acceleration happening? Which region is putting on a show?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. The region that's truly accelerating, the fastest growing globally, that's Asia Pacific.
Okay, tell me more.
So their market was valued around $62.6 million in 2021.
Yeah.
The forecast sees it hitting over $92 million in 2025,
Okay.
and then really surging dramatically to nearly $200 million by 2033.
Wow, almost $200 million from $62 million.
Exactly. And this translates to the highest regional CGR we see, anywhere just over 10.1%.
Over 10%. That's huge for a whole region.
It really is. I mean, compare that to many established industries. It signals really strong, sustained demand kicking in across that part of the world.
So what's driving that? Is it just like a rising tide across all countries there, or are there specific standouts really pushing that average up?
That's a key question, and no, it's not uniform. There are definite frontrunners. India, for instance.
Okay.
India shows the strongest growth anywhere in the world. Their CAGR is phenomenal, just over 11%, the highest globally.
11% CGR.
Yep. Starting from about $8.2 million in 2021, it's forecast to shoot up to over $29 million by 2033.
What's happening in India specifically to cause that?
It seems to be a mix of things. You've got a growing middle class, more disposable income, people getting more into sports and fitness.
Right.
And also digital access. E-commerce makes it easy to get these products now, even outside the big cities. So awareness meets accessibility. It's like they're leapfrogging in adoption.
Incredible story there in India, the global leader in growth spade. Any other major players in Asia Pacific close behind?
Oh, absolutely. China is another huge one. Their market is set to nearly triple, hitting almost $60 million by 2033. Their CIGR is also really impressive, about 10.3%.
So China and India are the two big engines there.
They are driven by similar factors,
Yeah.
economic growth, more health-focused, better availability. But it's not just them. Singapore's got a high CJR too, 10.4%, heading towards nearly $8.7 million.
Okay.
Southeast Asia is a whole block, growing at 10.7% CAGR, projected to reach $16.4 million. And even the more established markets like Japan and South Korea, still showing really strong TGRs around 9.4%, 9.5%. So it's broad, but India and China are definitely leading the charge.
Okay, from that incredible growth in Asia Pacific, let's pivot a bit. Let's talk Europe. Established economy, strong sports culture there too. How does Europe stack up in the kinesiology tape world?
Europe's showing very healthy expansion as well. They recorded just over $46 million back in 2021.
Yeah.
And the projection, it grows substantially to over $126 million by 2033. That's with a solid 8.8% CAGR.
So also nearly tripling its market size over that period.
Exactly. Which is really robust, sustained demand. You could argue it's driven by, both that strong sports focus and perhaps an aging population looking for ways to manage pain and stay mobile.
Makes sense. So within Europe, any particular countries leading the way?
Germany stands out. They're expected to reach over $26 million by 2033, and they actually have Europe's highest CGR at 9.5%.
Ah, Germany leading in Europe.
Yeah, likely fueled by that strong sports culture and a really well-developed healthcare system. But beyond Germany, the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Sweden, they're all significant markets, all showing healthy growth.
Any specific numbers jump out?
Well, for instance, the UK is projected to hit over $18 million by 2033. Spain's looking at nearly $9.5 million. So you see widespread adoption, steady expansion pretty much across the continent. It's clearly accepted as a useful aid there.
Okay, so we've got North America leading overall, Asia Pacific exploding with growth, Europe expanding steadily. What about the other major regions? South America, the Middle East, Africa. Are they getting in on this kinesiology tape boom too?
They absolutely are, and that really underscores how global this trend is. The appeal seems pretty universal. These regions are showing substantial growth.
Okay, let's break them down. South America first.
Right. South America recorded just over $10.5 million in 2021, but look at the forecast. Expected to more than triple, hitting over $32 million by 2033.
Triple. Wow. What's the growth rate there?
A really strong 9.6% CAGR. And interestingly, Argentina shows particularly rapid growth within the region, over 10.1% CAGR. Brazil leads in overall size, though, with a 9.5% CAGR. Suggests, rising sports participation, maybe better health awareness across the continent.
Very impressive for South America. Okay, how about the Middle East? Often a region you see investing heavily in sports and wellness.
Exactly, and the numbers reflect that. The Middle East market is growing at a healthy 9.5% CAGR overall, projected to reach over $26 million by 2033.
Any standouts there?
The UAE really stands out. Remarkable 10.2% CAGR. That likely ties into their big investments in sports facilities, wellness, tourism, all that.
Makes sense.
And Saudi Arabia is also contributing significantly with a strong 9.6% CAGR. So yeah, rapidly developing market, mirroring that global trend towards health and fitness.
All right, last but not least, Africa. What's the picture there?
Africa started from a smaller base, nearly $7 million in 2021.
Okay.
But it's projected to reach over $20.6 million by 2033. That's an 8.8% CAGR, still very respectable.
And within Africa?
South Africa is the strongest market there. It has a 9.3% CAGR, projected to hit over $9.5 million by 2033. So even though the current market sizes might be smaller compared to, say, North America, the growth rates are definitely promising. It suggests an emerging market with real potential as awareness and, crucially, accessibility continue to improve.
So bringing all these threads together, North America, Asia Pacific, Europe, South America, Middle East, Africa, when you zoom out and look at the whole global picture, what's the main takeaway? What's the big story here?
I think what's truly striking is just how consistent and widespread this adoption is. It's almost everywhere. The global kinesiology tape market isn't just growing. It feels like it's genuinely expanding rapidly on multiple fronts.
Right.
And while, yes, North America, specifically the U.S., is still the biggest single country market today in terms of dollars, but it's Asia Pacific and especially India within that region that's really driving the momentum. Those astonishing KGRs tell you where the future growth engine is likely to be. It signals this dynamic shift, this rising tide of health awareness and maybe self-managed care spreading globally.
It really feels like it's gone from niche physio tool to global health staple almost.
It's a great way to put it.
Well, it's clear the global kinesiology tape market is on this incredible path, right? Projected to more than double its 2025 size by 2033, smashing past that $650 million mark.
Yep, remarkable trajectory.
And we see North America holding the biggest share for now, but Asia Pacific, powered by India, is absolutely surging with the fastest growth rates. It signals a real shift in the market's center of gravity, doesn't it?
It really does. It's a truly global story driven by this universal push for better physical well-being, whether you're a pro athlete or just trying to stay active. And this consistent growth, fueled by everyone from athletes and physios to just everyday people hitting the gym or going for a run. It highlights huge market opportunities, obviously, but maybe more importantly, it points to a fundamental shift in how we're all thinking about our bodies, about preventing problems and taking recovery into our own hands. So as this tape becomes even more common, maybe even more advanced, you have to wonder, right? What other uses might pop up? What new groups of people might start using it? Maybe things beyond just sports or current rehab uses.
That's a fascinating thought.
And how could that change how we see these kinds of personal health and recovery aids over the next, say, 10 years? It feels like a market that still has a lot of potential directions it could run in.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the global kinesiology tape market. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and stay well informed.